guys, I hope you're all doing well. So I am coming to you with my review and thoughts on the new Morphe 39S. She's a gem. Such a gem. She's a gem. Such a gem palette. Okay, you guys. So we'll start with all the business and the boring stuff. And we'll get into the how I feel about it. This palette retails for $35. I ordered mine off of the Morphe website. I do not know if it's going to be in Ulta or, stores or anything like that yet. It is in Morphe stores, of course. This came out a few weeks ago. Yeah, and even longer once you're watching this video. So this came out a few weeks ago, and did I say $35? Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, standard packaging. You obviously with the Morphe website you can get, use your codes and different things, but I don't have a code for you guys, sorry. Yeah, this one is one of the larger ones. So Morphe has their 35 pan palettes, which is the majority of what their palettes, most of their palettes are, but they have these 39, which personally, I love the 39. Like, I love this style, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But yeah, this palette's theme is these pinks and purples here. The other two palettes that they have in this setup is the 39A, which is more of a neutral, warm, classic Morphe type of palette, and then the James Charles palette, which is a bright rainbow, beautiful spectrum of colors in that palette. This one definitely leans in the pinks and purple family significantly. So you have, again, a total of 39 shades in here, which the mixture of finishes in here is matte, satin, metallic, shimmer, all that, with one pressed glitter. This shade is called Show Off. This one pressed glitter down here, which is a new formula from Morphe. And then these center shades are what are advertised as shadow toppers, which once you see the swatches, I have swatches, I think they can function as shadows. I've been using them as toppers because that's what they say. They're just a little bit more sheer as a shadow, but they seem to work fine as shadows, but they're advertised as shadow toppers. So I'm going to actually go kind of like top two rows, just give you some critiques on the colors, middle row, and then the bottom two rows, and then I'll give you some overall opinions on this palette. Okay, so as I talk, I'll pop the pictures of the swatches on my arm up because swatching 39 shades on camera takes a while. So I'll talk about it, but I'll have a picture of these shades up. So the top two rows, again, the mixture in the whole palette, you have the purples and pinks, and then you have the, let me just show you actually. This I can show you. If you look at this palette, the purple and pinks more lean on this side. And if you go to this side, you've got a little bit more berry, almost coppery shades here. So you have a little bit of versatility, but let's get back into it. So the top two rows, again, they consist of mixed finishes. All these shades up here perform pretty well, except the fourth shade over, which is called Dazzle 'em. Dazzle 'em doesn't swatch that well. Dazzle 'em doesn't pick up on the brush that well. Overall, you'll notice this palette has more hits than misses, but I'm just pointing out the inconsistencies. Dazzle 'em doesn't really do much. It's a gray, a silvery gray with some different reflective like shimmer particles in it. I wouldn't call it glitter, but it just doesn't show up that well. But the mattes are really nice and really strong. I think Morphe is getting better in their formulation of their mattes. Like these mattes, I don't have any issues with them. So this top row, beautiful. The next to the last shade called Flaunt It. Oh, that's like a beautiful coral. When I was doing my coral challenge, I really would have liked that one. Purple, that plum on the end called Plums Up, beautiful. Second row, same thing. Don't have too many complaints on the second row. Too many. I don't have any complaints on the second row. Right under Dazzle 'em, you have Treasure Trove, which is a satin gray, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's not the strongest gray in the world. It's opaque. It's not like, again, it's not like, I don't know, like whatever the equivalent of pitch black is with pitch gray, but I don't know, it's just like the right amount of gray, if that makes any sense. And you'll see, I'll talk to you a little bit more about the neutrals in here, but that shade called Decadent AF, I'm actually wearing that in the look today. That brown there, third from the right, absolutely beautiful. Again, these mattes are bomb. My favorite shade, one of my favorite shades is Very Good, that next pink, absolutely just love it, just beautiful. Now let's get into this middle row of toppers. This middle row of what are called toppers. Their consistency is a little bit different. Everything else feels like a standard shadow, minus the pressed glitter, which feels like a pressed glitter. But these have this soft, squishy ColourPop Super Shock shadow feel to them. I feel like ColourPop Super Shock shadows are now going to be like that standard of feel when you can't describe the texture and it feels like them. We're just going to say it feels like them, because at this point, like, if you're into makeup, you felt a ColourPop Super Shock shadow. So yeah, so that's kind of what they feel like. Actually, when I ordered this palette, one of them was kind of cracked in this palette, just one of the middle ones, and I was able to press it back together with my finger. So yeah, that soft gel bouncy like texture with these. They pick up and perform just like a powder, and they blend just like a powder, but I just wanted to let you know if you're into that funky texture or you're not into that funky texture. And I've actually used all of these toppers as toppers, but I've only used 2 as shadows. So we're going to go down to the 2 sort of in the center, the 4th and the 5th one. The 4th one's called Catch the Light, and the 5th one's called Bling Thing. And they're beautiful champagne gold and a beautiful, really light rose gold. That light rose gold, it kind of reflects peachy pink, almost like a duochrome. Well, probably a duochrome. And it's really pretty, but it's really soft. So that's one that's like, probably shouldn't be using it as a shadow, but I did anyway. It's really pretty. Then you have the 2 pinks on the end with that pink and that berry there. Then we're going to get into the row after that. This, in my opinion, is probably the strongest row in this palette, because all of the shades I think are absolutely beautiful, and I think they perform the best. So the light, even the light, what is this? A light lavender. Oh God, it's beautiful. It's like, I mean, like a unicorn type of shade. Absolutely beautiful. Again, you have a matte, you have a beautiful purple, satin purple there. Then you have this deep, rich eggplant. You guys, that matte purple. If you need a matte purple, purples are a really hard shadow to formulate. So one can be really critical on purples, but you can also give purples the benefit of the doubt. This one doesn't need any benefit of the doubt, honey. It is there, it is large, and it is in charge. That purple is called Make It Rain, and boy, rain is spelled like royalty, rain. And yeah, that's a royal purple if I've ever seen one. I like purple. Purple's not my favorite color. Fun fact, I am from Baltimore. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, and my brother went to Mount St. Joe, which is a high school in Baltimore, and if you know anything about Mount St. Joe, we're purple too. Like they have their prom at the Raven Stadium. Like, we don't play about purple. So just purple is what it is. Like purple. So yeah, I know a purple. I'm just letting you know. I know a purple. Again, that going into that coppery shade right next to it, absolutely beautiful. Strong brown matte in Fame Game there. I have that on too today. And then you have what is this? Extra Oomph, which I love that name. It's probably one of my favorite names. Beautiful, still in that copper family. And then that matte, strong berry mauve on the end, that burgundy mauve. Beautiful. Then you get into the bottom row. And you have Perry Twinkle. I used that in a previous look. The first look I posted with this palette, I used Perry Twinkle. It's decent. It's nice in the middle somewhere. It's decent. Same with the next one. Again, these matte purples, I think they really nailed it with this. And you kind of have to. If this is the theme of the palette, you really have to. Excuse me. One more is coming. Whew, excuse me. Anyway, going back into the purples. If you're having a theme of the palette is purples and pinks, you really got to go hard with those. You really have to go hard and make sure those are up to par. This is a really interesting shade next to that. I'm so sorry, you guys. I can't stop sneezing. Ooh, called Shiny Object. This is a silver, but if you look at it in the right light, it kind of reflects a teal blue almost. So I think that's a really interesting shade. It's bright, it's opaque, it's beautiful, it's disco ball shiny. It's called Shiny Object, but that's an interesting little, I didn't notice it until it was on my eye. So pretty cool. Okay, and then you have Pure Luxe, which is probably my favorite shade. That matte hot pink is bomb, but Pure Luxe is just the prettiest metallic champagne rose. I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's just beautiful. It's kind of boring in the grand scheme of this whole palette, but I absolutely love it. I like what I like. Then you have the pressed glitter, which I want to take a note, want to let you guys know. This glitter, pressed glitter, is pretty impressive. I was not expecting much from a Morphe pressed glitter. I don't know why, but like new formulas of pressed glitters, I just don't know. Well, you guys know I press my own glitters, and so I think my own pressed glitters are bomb, and because I pack a lot of glitter in there. I was expecting it to be like definitely like a topper, just a sparkly topper. But this pressed glitter is full opaque upon swatch. It's absolutely like, it's there. It's full on color of glitter. And yeah, they packed it in. And so it's really pretty. I think it complements the purple and pink. I wouldn't have picked it for this palette, but then again, I'm not making palettes. So I really do think, like just looking at this, I wouldn't think it would be in a purple and pink palette. But with the palette and wearing it with the shades, I think it works. So well done, Morphe, for that. And then you have two dark shades, which the next one after the pressed glitter is called Garnet Glam, and it's really pretty. It's a really pretty gunmetal taupe. However, the one right beside it, Rocks On, it ain't all that. Like, it's a black and it has like these blue specks in it. I think it just sticks out like a sore thumb. I think it does not fit in this palette. I don't think this palette needed a black, and definitely not a black with blue glitter in it. I don't understand. It's a decent shade, but I really think they could have put something else there. It almost seems like last minute we needed one more shade. It just doesn't go at all, and I don't get it why it's there. But I mean, it's not going to make me hate the palette, but just letting you guys know. So that is all the roles, all the shade breakdowns and everything like that. So overall, how do I feel about this palette? I enjoy it. Is it an A? It's not an A for me. I'm going to give it a B. The reason why is because this is a very niche palette. This is a palette that's really geared toward people who like pink and purple. If you don't like pink or purple, don't buy this palette. Which, I mean, like, I clearly that's why they're selling it. Like, it's not one of those palettes that can be advertised as anybody can use it. Although I think anybody can look good in pink or purple, but you guys get what I'm saying. However, you do have some strong neutrals in here that I do want to point out. These browns that they put in this palette, while it's not that many, I'm going to go ahead and just put my fingers in them here. They were put in this palette to complement and blend out and be a crease shade for any of these shades. And they work wonderfully as that. I'm even going to do this berry one here because that can go as well as this gray. Like, they picked the perfect matte neutrals in this palette, and you can get a really nice neutral look. So the look I'm wearing now, I have a video up on this look. I did put a little pink underneath, but on my on my lid, you would never even know or guess that this look came from a palette that's focused on pinks and purples. So they have like a champagne metallic. That silver can work. You can get a deeper smoky eye if you want to use that black with the blue sparkles for whatever reason. So you can squeeze a couple non-pink and purple looks out. And I just wanted to point that out to you if you want another justification for it. But it is really just pink and purple, and I'm okay with that. If you want to get this palette, like, who's this palette for? Obviously the makeup enthusiast, the collector, me, you know, but someone who enjoys pinks and purples, someone who enjoys matte pinks and purples, because these mattes in here are phenomenal. So if that's what you're into, go ahead. Also, someone who likes to try new textures or wants a palette with a bunch of different textures in it. Again, matte, satin, metallic, shimmer, these toppers, these bouncy gel-like pressed glitter. You kind of get a mishmash of all textures, and you can play with a lot of textures and work with your eyeshadow. You just got to be okay with all of your looks theming around pink and purple, unless you do something like this. I don't have any too many negative. Yeah, I don't. You can hear from what I'm saying. I don't have too many negative things to say about it. Just a couple critiques. It's not really critique. I love this packaging. I love this metal cardboard. Let me get my life together. This cardboard packaging. I think there's a is this a magnetic? Yeah, it feels like a magnetic closure. Yeah, I love this style of packaging. It's thin, it's compact. I like it over the clunky plastic packaging. I think Morphe is trying to move into this type of packaging, and I really appreciate that. Kudos to you. However, Morphe, please try and print the names of the shades on the palettes. I know you did it with Jaclyn Hill, her collection, and it just worked wonderfully. But because I am anal about things like that, and because I do videos and I like to know what shade I'm using to let you guys know when I'm doing a video, I will take that plastic sheet and tape it to the top. I will. However, if you decide to put mirrors in your palettes, which which I'm not, I'd rather take the shade names printed than a mirror, because mirrors break. I don't need a mirror in this big palette. Like, I don't. But I know some people like mirrors, so I'm going to vote for mirrors too. But if I only have to pick one, please put the shade names on the palette. If it costs like $2 extra for the palette, I'll accept it. I would pay $40 for this palette. I'm not saying raise the price, but I'm just saying, if the names were printed on the palette. This plastic sheet, it gets damaged, it gets lost, people don't keep track of it. If it was just a plastic sheet to protect it, that's fine. Oh, sidebar, check out my girl Emily's video on makeup pet peeves. She doesn't like plastic sheets either. I don't mind them, but like, this is a pain to have to do this. So just print the names, please. That's the only critique I have. Again, I like this style of packaging. I like the sleek black. I like that the name of the palette is on just the back in the corner. That way, if they did a collab or they did a special limited edition, then this could be like artwork or something. But I like that they save money with like fancy artwork and fancy all of this. Like, people like packaging, but like all that on the front and just stick to like putting, I don't know. I appreciate that. I don't know. So I give it a B. Do I recommend it? If you like pink and purple, I'll recommend it. Do you need this many shades of pink and purple? No. But if you like pink and purple and you want to explore and want to experiment with different textures, I think this is a good palette. If you just want pink or just want purple, I know ColourPop has some really nice, just monochromatic palettes. You can make a palette with some singles of monochromatic, monochromatic shades. But remember, singles add up too. So if it's starting to add up to like, even like, I don't know, $5 a single, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. This palette is $35. 7 singles, and that's, so you kind of got to weigh your options when you're looking for dupes and you're looking to make your own and you're shopping your stash. Always make sure that it's reasonable and it makes the most sense financially. So it's up to you guys. Of course, it always is, but those are my thoughts on it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in this video, feel free to leave them down below. I love you all, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.